Welcome to the channel. My name is Mopac from Deported and Not Defeated. I want to talk about and piggyback off of my last video about business. And I want to talk about how hard it is to run a business here in Mexico, and Tijuana specifically, but in general, I think in Mexico, because I see it from this perspective. Right now, I'm on my way to pick up my sister from the airport. She was in Coahuila. I've never been there, but she was visiting some family, and I'll show you around the airport. And anyhow, yeah, I wanted to talk about this specifically because for me it's something that I resonate with, because I know so much about it since I've been here. I haven't had a job, an established job. I basically have had a business all the time, and if it's not this, if it's not that, it's always been tattooing, but I've always ventured off into little things. But it's so difficult to make it out here, you know, because for one, the type of industry that I'm in is tattooing. It's a luxury. It's not something that people want all the time. It's not something that people consistently looking for, and it's expensive. You know, I know that in the United States, tattoos are more expensive, but here in Mexico, yeah, they're relatively cheaper, and for good reasons. We don't have the kind of income that people in the United States or Canada and places like that make, you know. So for that reason, our prices are way lower. And what happens here, here in Mexico, people are a little bit more bargain shoppers. You know, they always look for the cheaper price. We don't really look out for the quality. It's more for the cheapest price. And that goes along with tattooing. People are always consistent. They're always looking for the best bargain, even if it doesn't mean it's a good quality tattoo. Sometimes they don't even care about the quality. They just care about the price. Everything's the price. I'm at fault of that too. I'm always looking for cheaper stuff. I'm always looking to save a buck, because we don't make a lot of money here. We don't have an economy where we're willing to spend more. You know, we're always trying to save a peso. So that's why it's hard, you know. And then right here in Mexico, like we have a lot of like flea markets, you know, swap meets, where they sell everything, because people are trying to make a living, you know, from wherever they can, and a buck wherever they can. So right here, that's the hard part about being in this industry. I have survived because thankfully I've done it for so long that I've gained some reputation and a clientele. It's not consistent. I'm telling you right now that it's been really hard for me. You know, some days are really good, and some days are really bad, and some days are awful. So I've been living like that since I've been here in Tijuana, because I've been tattooing for 10 years here in Mexico, and that's how it's been. I've flourished in a lot of ways, and I'm grateful because I didn't have to rely on a job like most people do. I didn't have to rely like on a call center, because whatever they make, sometimes I could probably make it in a tattoo or two, you know. But then again, I won't work every single day, so I can't brag and say that I make more, you know. But yeah, it's just one of those things that it's been difficult for me, you know. And I choose to do this because, like I said before, I love the tattoo industry. I love tattooing. It's something that's part of me. Not a lot of people get to say I love what I do for work, you know, so that's good. But and on that same token, I've seen this market grow so much, especially here in Mexico. I know that in the United States I've heard of it as well, but here in Mexico, because right here we kind of like, when there's a buck to be made, people will flock to it. They'll figure it out. They'll find a way to do it, you know. And even if they don't have a background in it, they'll figure it out and they'll do it, you know. And they'll start tattooing, they'll start a barber shop and just learn on their go, you know. Take a couple courses and they'll just do it. They'll start a business even if they have no experience. And that waters down the industry big time. I guess in any industry as well. It waters it down, and people don't know how to charge, and just because they want to earn a buck, they'll drop their prices. And you know, here in Mexico, we're recognized for always being a bargain economy. We're always bargaining in everything, you know. There's always somehow we adapt our prices and we drop our prices just so that we get the clientele, which is unfortunate because, especially in the tattoo industry, it takes so long to become a tattooer, and especially a good quality tattoo, and then people are trying to bargain your prices because they're so used to people who don't have a background in it and they're just trying to make a buck, and they're willing to drop their prices or don't even know how to price their worth because they're all they know in their box, in their world, is a few hundred pesos, and that's what they know. They're good with that, you know. And that's the competitions that I face every single day in this industry. Is that type of competition, you could say, you know. So it's harder. It's really hard. And nowadays, it's such a saturated market, man. We just have to all day, every single day. We have to market. We have to be on social media every single day. Show up with the best things that we can show up with, just so that we can get some kind of attention. You know, everybody has the access now to social media, and it's just crazy, you know, things that we have to do just to stand out, because we don't sell something that's a need. People don't come to us because they need something, or something of value, something that's important to them. They come to us because every once in a while they get an itch and they're like, oh, I want to get a tattoo. And it's hard to compete that. It's hard to compete with a lot of businesses. It's hard to compete in this industry because we're all fighting for the same slice of pizza. Right here is the airport. We're rolling up to the airport. This is where all the cars start coming into the airport of the Tijuana International Airport. Right now, my sister's already outside waiting for me, which is good. That means I don't have to wait around, stick around, find somewhere to park and wait for her. I kind of timed it just perfectly. We're gonna be leaving out of here next week. If God willing, we'll be traveling to Yucatan for our vacation. I can't wait for that to happen. So I'm gonna be here next week, God willing. This is it. This is see that bridge right there? That's where you can cross from Mexico to the United States to the airport. So this is Playas de Tijuana. We're over here. We just came from the airport. We picked up my sister and we're over here because we're looking for a home to rent, an apartment or home to rent. She wants to move over here. She's a homeowner in Rosemont, California, but she's looking to find a place out here just to be close to Mexico, to be close to the family. So and she's also looking maybe in the future to probably buy a house out here. This is a nice area. It's a nice area, Playas de Tijuana. I would like it if we already have a home, so we don't really need a home. But it's a really nice area. It's a little bit more upscale. Back to the subject that I was talking about, you know, for business, it's a little bit harder for Mexicans to run a business because, for my example, what I know, most people out here, we don't have like resources. We don't have social programs. We don't have government assistance. We don't have food stamps. We don't have none of that. So it's a doggy dog world out here. So if you don't work, you don't eat. Basically, it's pretty straight up right here. There's nothing handed to you right here, so you gotta grind really hard to make some kind of money every day. And that's why you see a lot of people selling stuff on the streets, because that's the only way that they're trying to like financially make it. You know, some people don't want to work for $150 to $200 a week. You know, they're trying to make every single day, they're trying to make a buck, and that's how it is out here. So that's why it's so competitive. where prices, where people sell out and people drop prices for anything just so they can make a sale. And that's the reality of living here in Mexico. Everybody does it, you know, and everybody's looking for a bargain, and nobody really like buys quality stuff. We're gonna turn in here to see what we can find in these areas as far as homes and apartments. You have a lot more like people that work in the other side. This is the areas that they come and live out here. They really like these areas, you know, because they feel it's a little bit more like modern or a little bit more upscale, and that's why they prefer to move out here. Plus, you got the beach maybe a few blocks away, so that's the nice place, nice thing about living in Playas de Tijuana or Rosarito. They're a little bit more modern homes. You know, I mean, it's not modern homes like the U.S., but you know, it's nice. It's nice enough to live out here. And the weather's always like this, overcast. It's hardly ever a day where it's really hot and sunny. But if you go back to Tijuana, it's really, really hot. But you come over here and it's really cool. So that's the nice thing about living next to the beach at the place. As I was saying, you know, the pressure is harder. The pressure is real. You know, you have to work harder here in Mexico because you don't have those resources. You have to grind harder to make it happen. It's been a 10-year struggle, but we've survived. We've made it in the tattoo business, and I'm sure every single business, whatever area the businesses are in, have struggled too, but one way or another have adapted to the realities of Mexico and how hard it is to be an entrepreneur. It's hard, but you know, the hustle is real, the grind is real, and you gotta make it happen. And on another note, we found like maybe 10 or 11 homes out here that my sister's interested in, so she's gonna call in and see their prices and get to see what she likes and see what's appealing. Maybe we do some home tours for her, and maybe she finds something. I know that she wants something soon, so we're gonna try to get this done maybe like within a month. So maybe I'll make a video about that, since it's a little bit more personal. It's not what I'm trying to do, but it's something that's personal, so I might make a video of it, and then you can get an actual clue of what it's like to get a house out here or rent a house out here. Until next time, drop a comment and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you.